So this can be actually your retail dashboard. Just after installing proof of concept, all the data pop up, and we apply the standardized out-of-the-box Power BI reports on the top of our data warehouse. Being a retailer, you are probably having the most important KPI on the top, and these are those which make sense to your business. We believe these are the most standard one. But if something is not relevant for you, so for example, if you have no problem whatsoever with voided transactions, you just drop and bring another measure out of 600 if you're using F&O, or 350 measures that are hidden in our solution. So just drag and drop, as Power BI can change any part of the dashboard. Now the same KPIs are shown in visuals in chart here over the period of a year in our case, and some of them are very common, some of them are more retail specific, and all the design is said that you can analyze your data super simple. So for example, if you have a channel type where I have department store and outlet, it should be very easy for me to filter this, because this might be the most important property in my store. And table here in the middle shows in a very simple way the good and the bad. So for example, we can easily spot, because of the formatting in the colors, that profit in Colombia is not doing good. We have a lot of voided transactions in Austin, and Atlantic City is lagging on a year-to-date revenue. If we analyze any application area, there are two aspects. So one aspect is also for the retail is time intelligence. So what I mean is that we have a basic need sales measure, and we see this measure through different time dimension, or that's actually date time dimension. In what we mean is like month-to-date index, month-to-date variance, month-to-date variance percentage. So these are the variances of the need sales. And there is a lot, because you are doing all-time comparison to a basic transactions. And of course, it applies by filtering by any other master file. The same part, we can just show you here a more tabular view on a year-to-date basis comparison. And there is a lot. If I just have a short exposure of year-to-date, you will see that all the measures that have YTD are going to pop. I just travel a little down. You see how many they are, quite a lot. Now, retailers, you are doing a lot of comparison also year-on-year or year-over-year basis. So this is one of the aspects also, as well as period-on-period, month-to-day, week-to-day, last periods, etc., etc., etc. Now, another aspect of analyzing is also analyzing your data in additional currency for reporting. So let me explain what this is. Now, your transactional database does transaction in your local currency. Let's say if you are in United Emirates, then the dirham is the local currency. But if you are having this database across multiple countries, and you pick up transactions also from neighboring countries where the currencies are different, then what BI4 Dynamics offer you out-of-the-box consolidation by mapping all the local transaction to additional currency reporting, which is a part of the BI4 Dynamics setup, and it takes the currencies and exchange rate on transaction date out of your Dynamics. So this is what you have already out of the box for consolidation with no effort in all application area, not just in the retail. And again, let me just demonstrate, this is really, really well supported. I guess only in the retail, I would say that there is probably about 60 or 70 ACY measures. So why is this important? Because, for example, you see, just in this example, the currencies and exchange rates different, right? And you can be already happy by having a 4% lagging after the last year period in your transactional currency, local currency. However, in additional currency for the reporting, because of different exchange rates, you are 10% behind last year revenue in, let's say, more real term. So this is something that you get out of the box in BI4 Dynamics. Now, another aspect of analyzing business is the content that is specific to the area. In this case, we'll just go through few scenarios of retail. Of course, we are having a retail webinar. One thing is that after we install BI for Dynamics, it takes just one day, and everyone is entering latitude and longitude, because you can use heat maps, which are really good to see how the business is performing also geographically. Also, you are entering sales per square meter. You want to get this basket value. In this case, we see if you want to upsell, business want to upsell, more value, more items into the basket. You want to track this. You do activity. You want to track, is that marketing activity getting some traction or not? So you can then analyze what is the average basket value, is it developing, how this is done by store over time, and so on. So you can see the department store average basket value, it's 4,000, while outlet is just 1/3 of this. Our lowest granularity of date or time dimension, it's a quarter of an hour, where you can analyze all transactions based on that detail. Now, another scenario, just to show how easy the setup can be, so that you can analyze it, the payments. And what we have here are different payment types, standard types, with a net payment, average payment, voided transactions. Again, here are the stores, and we are looking into trends in payment or average payment, but mostly what you are going to do is comparison between cash and cards, because you don't want to operate with cash. Take some effort to do this, as well as, card providers use some commission in order to service you. So you would like to see how this is evolving over time. What are the trends comparison? So, for example, if this is one aspect of your business, and the other could be the retail type. And again, we can see, for example, that the net payments here are almost, 8-9 times higher, and also the average payment here is 4 times higher for the customers in the store, department stores. And we can also see how they are paying with cash or credit cards, and which credit card, and you have a deal with the local bank, etc., etc., etc. Now, items. Of course, you structure the items. Maybe you have 100 items, you have more than 10 million items. We meet all kinds of customers, and you probably sorted out the grouping and leveraging of these attributes already inside of Dynamics. And what I just show you is that you can really analyze this data nicely. So, for example, this is a price tag of 350, a sales price of an item, how this is spread across the shops. And if you want to see how this is doing on the shops which are bigger, which means 170 square meter profile of the shop, these are also only department stores, then you would see the information how they are doing. This is just one simple aspect of sales analyzing by item. This feature, last sales transaction, is the interesting one, because once we show it, everyone just wants to use it. And what it is showing, like, all the retailer, we all agree, no stock is the best stock. So you're always looking different aspects of what's going on in the stock, in the sales. So what we are showing here is how you are tracking if the numbers are okay, but customers are changing habits in assortment. So what is this? We have the last sales in the 3 months in this selected period, where by item group, and here we can see that we have sold everything yesterday, which is the last day was yesterday. Now what is interesting, we can expand this hierarchy going to the next level, and we have the profiles of the customers, customer groups. Here we already see that the major customers stop buying some items, and we want to see, what is it? So we can filter this here. Immediately we can see it affects also the changes in other visuals. So these are the stores. We can see this is here, net sales, sorted by net sales. It says, okay, you see in Annapolis, these items have not been sold for 14 days. And we can see which item have been sold for how many days. Going further, we can also go and filter the major customers. And we go to the next level. We can go directly to the customer that we want to analyze. So we can see, for example, tennis stadium customer hasn't been buying from us in Palo Alto already for 80 days, and which are the items and so on. So this is something really, really, really very useful when you are managing a lot of data. And there is no way, as you can see, that you will be analyzing the black and white, like reports from your ERP CAM, because this is way better, more flexible, and you can spot immediately the outlining events. Now, just to end this content part on the retail, we'll just show you a few more things about operations. You are gathering a lot of data in your posts, and we just show how nicely structured data are coming into the Power BI dashboard like this one. So we are tracking, for example, discounted items, corrected SAN items, and here we have this exposed. If you have problems with discount or some post types are not performing, you will easily spot some issues here with climbing values. And if you have issues with voided transactions, either sales or payments, then how easy it is to track this. If I just click here on Philadelphia, this is voided by the store. We have percentages of payments and sales line and payments. And here it is by staff. So all these things, as you see, is super easy, super simple to analyze. And this is what actually today's business intelligence solutions offer. BI for Dynamics is not offering only a retail. And let me just show you, if you want to see more about our BI for Dynamics application area, there is a list of these: sales, receivables, finance. We look into the inventory and purchase. Like this is for the F&O. There is a lot of content across all application area. And if you are a busy customer, then the information about content is here. So you can see sales, receivable, finance, again, inventory, purchase information with all the specifics for the ERP, in this case, the BC. So the most important part that we want to show you in inventory is not inventory turnover, balance, opening balance, average stock, and those transactions movements with, I know, 10 or 20 attributes. That's simple. We want to show you the inventory aging. So in my visual here, in my canvas, you can see the inventory aging spreading from 2018 till the end of 2019. And we are tracking how many days items have not been moving since last location. And the buckets of the aging are here. Now, it may not reflect your particular business, but this can be set up easily in 5 minutes, and you would have a different scale because you are selling spare parts for automotive industry. The cycle can be 7 to 10 years. Like if you are selling bread and butter, you are more in this range here. But again, frozen items are there, etc., etc. Now, what we have here in this visual here, we have grouped by color all the values under 100 days, items not moving 100 days, and anything about 1 year is red. So we can see that turnover in days is good because we have decreased it from 300. Here it was good, going down to 289. Like faster we are moving, the better it is. But actually what it shows here that we are actually moving very efficiently new items, but not the old items. What means that all items are getting stuck and not moving anywhere. That's definitely not good. And if I want to track this by location, by item category, by anything, this is just one click away. If you would like to analyze this information, then actually I can assure you Excel is better, especially it can be more responsive and it gives you more flexibility. So for example, if you would like to see, let's say, what is this spot, 1.7 million, all the data, by the way, all the standardized report come in two forms, for Power BI and for Excel, so you don't have to worry about it, and you don't have to choose either this or that. You know, for one process, big picture dashboarding, you will use Power BI. For ad hoc reporting, Excel is king. Let's see, 2 to 3 years, 1.7 billion. And we are looking into the furniture. Then we are looking into the board items. So for example, board items here. Okay, and these are the items which have not been moving for 2 to 3 years. And what we are going to bring in is location, so that we can nest location into the list of this. Okay, and I think we have here also the average inventory cost, if I'm correct. That's just this guy here, which will tell me, I just format this, which is the average value in the warehouse. So why is this important? Because you can analyze, in some items, you see, in this case, location, it is higher, way higher than the average value of your inventory in other location. This can be a problem, especially when the average cost is already higher than the cost if you would purchase it now, which means you have to act like write off, sell off, do something. Definitely it will include some cost. And joining all this information in BF Dynamics is quite easy, because you can create cubes or virtual cubes, and combining this information from different cubes together is simple. It doesn't take any more processing or disk space. It is just like all the data here can be analyzed across any combination of the cube. And the retailers do these things a lot. You have Excel, you have like 10, 20, 30 columns, like, no way to fit into Power BI for sure. And then the slicers, where you're filtering your item structure, location, periods, and so on. So this is what BI for Dynamics is, because if I would right-click and travel you just little through the numbers of the measures that we have, you see, it's a lot. It's a lot. So this is a really rich environment and rich content here. Now let's analyze another application area, which retail is also very important for the retail, and this is purchase. Let me open a purchase dashboard, and I will explain what you need to know as a retailer about the purchasing. Again, not how many items you have purchased, what is the average price, landing cost. That's okay. That is pretty much standard. We'll be looking into delivery performance of your vendor. What do I mean by that? When you open a purchase order, you can enter or automatically enter purchase or promised delivery date, one of the dates, expected delivery date, planned delivery date. There are 3 or 4 depending on the ERP in the purchase order line, right? And you leave it in that order there. Then items or services arrive to your warehouse, and you post a receipt, not invoice, a receipt. Okay. So based on the difference between the delivery date and the actual posting date, we have days late. So we are analyzing a vendor in August and September of 2019. We have several documents, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can see here these items came with a 1-day delay. This came on time. If items came before or on time, you just score 0. You don't get a bonus for that. And here we have 6 days delays. What it can be interesting for you is you can see the 4 is a days late is 4, but actually you would expect more to be around 3, right? Because here it comes a data warehouse calculation that we are using, which means we are using another level of leveraging this information by purchase amount. And this is the right way to go, because the damage to come 6 days late for values which are higher can be definitely higher than those with a small value. So not arithmetic, but a weighted average across everywhere in BI Dynamics. So based on this information, then we calculate amount late, lines late, or quantity late. Also, if you would like to track this information like on time, then this is also here. So you see, these are approximately 15-20 measures that are referring only to the purchase delivery here. And these here are on time. Now, based on this information in one particular segment of the data, we can look into the big picture of the whole business. And again, what is important is what is the percentage of amount late and also the days late, because this may affect your internal operation, either reselling, out of stock information, or manufacturing delays, etc., etc. And you can see so super it is how you have been delivered the different items in the furniture group. So these are all the vendors with the value, amount late, and days late. So this is definitely your top vendor. If you're looking other way around, how the vendors from Denmark are delivering you items, then you can just click and have it visual. You can see it, how they are behaving, what is the delivery of different items, and the visuals and trends. So this is super simple. And again, this is information that you have and your vendors that not have. So you are in advantage having this. Even if you're not tracking this delivery date, you can set it up by delivery dates that are custom for your vendor or for an item, so you can automate that part.